Hello and welcome to this telecoms.com webinar, produced in association with the Broadband Forum. I'm James Middleton, Managing Editor of telecoms.com. And I'm joined today by Vincent Buchoux, who's CTO of LAN, and Lincoln Lavoie, who's Senior Engineer at the University of New Hampshire's Interoperability Testing Lab. Suppliers of customer premises equipment for the broadband market had their best year ever in 2012, with revenues increasing 13% year-on-year to reach $7.7 billion, according to US research firm Infinetics. And this year, 100 gigabit fiber is expected to generate revenues of over $1 billion for the first time ever, according to another research firm, Ovum. The firm found that 100G is providing plenty of encouragement as it continues to show strong growth both sequentially and year-over-year. 100G port shipments in the first quarter of 2013 grew 41% and revenues grew 24% compared with the fourth quarter of 2012, with annualized revenues surpassing $1 billion for the first time. So there's plenty of evidence to suggest that broadband and fiber in particular are really exploding in terms of demand. As service providers respond to the increasing demand to roll out more fiber in their networks, the Broadband Forum is providing tools for increasing equipment options and enhancing network interoperability with the Broadband Forum certification program. The program includes the globally recognized .247 ONU certification and the recently released TR255 OLT and ONU interoperability test plans, both geared towards improving providers' ability to deploy hybrid networks and manage the digital home more efficiently, regardless of broadband transportation means. So in a moment, both Vincent and Lincoln are going to discuss exactly what is included in each test plan and what those test plans bring to the industry, which companies have products today that have passes on the ONU certification plan, and how can service providers best leverage this program to reduce testing costs and procurement timelines, as well as looking at what type of new interoperability advancements are on the horizon. After the presentations, both Vincent and Lincoln will be available to take your questions. You can ask a question at any time during the presentation by typing it into the text box on the main page of this webinar. For now, I'm going to hand over to Vincent and Lincoln.
A little bit about your host today. My name is Vincent Buchoux. I am Technical Director at LAN Laboratory. I have been participating in the Broadband Forum activities since 2006, and I have especially been involved in the Fiber Access Network Working Group, where I served as an editor for different documents, and where I helped in designing the BBF247 GPON certification program. The LAN Laboratory is a 13-year-old company designing testing services for broadband CPEs and CO equipment in the areas of the broadband wireline communications, such as XDSL, fiber optics, and power line communications.
Thank you, Vincent, and welcome to our webinar today. My name is Lincoln Lavoie, and I have been participating in the Broadband Forum since 2003, and I've served as a working group chair since 2007. The University of New Hampshire Interoperability Laboratory is an independent testing lab with over 25 years of experience in testing networking technologies. We've worked closely with the Broadband Forum and LAN to help create the GPON test plans and programs that we'll be discussing in today's webinar. Our Q&A session today will also be joined by Alessandro from Telecom Italia. Alessandro will be able to help answer questions from the perspective of a service provider currently deploying the GPON technology. So let's get started. The Broadband Forum has worked closely with the industry, FSAN, and the ITU-T to develop a number of standards around the GPON technologies. This work has focused on the integration of GPON technology with existing Broadband Forum architectures, including the TR-101 documents that provide standardized architecture for the deployment of Ethernet-based broadband aggregation network, and TR-69, which provides an advanced management and control path into the home network and customer devices. With the increased number of GPON deployments, service provider members within the forum requested the development of conformance and interoperability test plans to help in the deployment issues they were currently facing with the GPON technologies. The GPON testing programs provided test plans for conformance and interoperability and a certification for GPON ONU devices. The program was designed to help service providers capitalize on a GPON deployment by improving the availability of high-quality GPON equipment. Specifically, this helps to lower the total cost of involvement for a service provider by lowering the development times and increasing the number of vendors and devices to select from. GPON deployment provides service providers with one option for the deployment of super-fast broadband services. Deployment of these services rely on availability of reliable equipment. To meet these market drivers, the Broadband Forum has now released both the GPON 247 certification program and the TR 255 GPON interoperability program. Vincent will explain the GPON certification program now.
Thank you very much, Lincoln. Let's have a glance to the Broadband Forum GPON ONU certification program, also called the BBF247 certification. What is the BBF247 certification? Who is it for? And what is this all about? The Broadband Forum GPON ONU certification program was developed and launched in 2011, establishing the industry's first GPON certification program. This certification program takes advantage of the standardized architectures developed by the Broadband Forum with the support, as mentioned by Lincoln, of the FSAN Association and the ITUT Study Group 15. More precisely, the BBF247 certification program is open to all GPON ONU products equipped with Ethernet interfaces and relies on the execution of the Broadband Forum IR247 test plan. This test plan verifies that the ONU adheres to the architecture requirements as outlined in the BBF TR-156 and verifies its OMCI implementation conforms to the practices described in Appendix 1 and 2 of the ITUT G988 OMCI Implementer's Guide. It is important to note that these standards are the most critical ones when one seeks to design interoperable implementations. What's new? The BBF247 certification program has evolved since 2 years and still evolves in a regular manner so as to follow constantly the needs of the GPON industry market. Today, the BBF247 certification is open to a variety of ONUs integrated with Ethernet interfaces, embracing single-user port ONUs, multi-user port ONUs, dual or multi-managed residential gateway ONUs, so-called ONURGs. New types of ONUs with new functionalities are also evaluated and covered by the certification when these come up to the market. What gets certified? Basically, IR247 test plan covers the testing of a core set of the Broadband Forum TR-156 requirements, plus its related G988 implementation recommendations. This set includes the testing of most of the TR-156 VLAN architecture's requirements, one-to-one, N-to-one BBS, traffic classification and tag management, frame mapping and QoS requirements. Other key services requirements are also covered, such as the IGMP control multicast and the broadcast mechanisms. Additional GPON functions, which are most critical to real-world service providers' deployments, are part of the certification. They are alarms, MIMS management, software upgrades and downgrades, and management. OMCI message sequence scrambling is also used in the certification test, making the reliability in the ONU conformance even stronger. Seeking for more details, get to the BBF certification website. How do you get your products BBF247 certified? To get certified, the official testing must be run by a lab approved by the Broadband Forum, a LAN laboratory. The approved lab maintains the integrity of the program, ensuring high-quality test processes and their repeatability. As an approved lab, the LAN is also very active in the worldwide promotion of the GPON BBF programs. To get certified, an official certification compliance confirmation form from the approved lab is the only thing that has to be submitted to the BBF for approval. The vendor will also get from the lab a detailed test report accompanied with the related test items such as the executed OMCI sequences. Can I do pretesting? Pretesting is a strategic service offered by the two official pretesting laboratories, the LAN lab and the UNH-IOL lab, which have worked together to offer a consistent and elaborated IR247 pretesting service. This service may help you in getting prepared to your path to the BBF247 certification. More details on pretesting services can be obtained from any of the two labs.
Thank you, Vincent. Shortly following the release of the second issue of the BBF247 program, the forum completed work on the GPON Interoperability Test Plan, TR255. The test plan provides a comprehensive set of test cases to fully validate the interoperability of an ONU device with an OLT, based on the requirements established in the TR156 and G988 standards. The test plan has also been released as a publicly available document, and companies have the option to perform the testing internally. However, due to the complexity of the testing, companies are encouraged to work with one of the two testing laboratories approved by the Broadband Forum to help ensure the testing is completed accurately. There are a number of ways service providers can leverage the Broadband Forum GPON program, including the use of the standards in the construction of their networks or inclusion of the certification in proposals submitted from vendors. These testing programs can also be used to ensure updated software releases will also continue to correctly operate in their network as well. Next, we'll take a quick tour of the Broadband Forum Certification Registry, which is located on their website, which can also be used to help with initial discussions with device suppliers. Service providers and OEM partners can also use the Broadband Forum website as a resource for the GPON programs. Vendors have the option to include their BBF247 certified device in the public listings as shown here. These listings include the manufacturer, product model, software and firmware version of the device certified. Each listing also includes information about the type of the device, such as a single user port, multi-user port, or integrated ONU/RG device. Lastly, the record also includes information about the service profile or profiles that were supported by the device during testing.
Let's talk a bit about the benefits of the GPON certification program and hear from the feedback of the industry. And let's have a look to the list of quotes here from different companies who directly experience the BBF247 certification program. What do they tell us? The BBF247 certification programs helps GPON actors to save efforts in validating GPON equipment and to assess their interoperability. The BBF247 certification programs speed up rollouts of the FTTH deployment. The BBF247 certification program assists GPON rectors in getting even more confidence in the reliability of their GPON equipment. To summarize, there is a clearly established need for service providers to get a better return of investment from fiber. This has to be achieved in keeping the requirements of having a choice of devices that are standards compliant and cost-effective. The BBF247 certification path provides service providers the assurance that the ONUs are market-ready and easily integrated into their networks. It provides them with simplified RFP processes, an additional way of making easier the evaluation of new prospects. It provides also with reduced testing and implementation costs, helping to drive excess costs out of fiber deployment. Thank you for your attention. Lincoln, Alessandro, and myself will be online to answer any question you may have about the GPON programs.